Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my live reactions to, chances are, the final duel of Dragon Duel World Championship 2017. Ever since I saw Ryan Yu from Canada play in a feature match in what was it, round? No, it was the quarterfinals, I think, that he was featured in. Either way, I really like his personality. Just the exact way he plays. He's careful in like going through chains, making sure they're resolved in proper order, that works fine. He's on it when an accidental or purposeful but likely accidental illegal play happens. He plays very much like I want to play and I feel like I play, which makes me like him. But his deck choice is also really interesting. Dinos were expected, True Draco was expected, possibly like Invoker a bit or ABC, which we're seeing. Ryan Yu plays Chamber. Very few people expected that, and I love it. He's in the finals and he's leading 1-0. We like at the end of game one, there was an example that it was something similar to something that happened in the original series, something with Yugi against My Duel, where if she would have just attacked, she would have won the duel, but she was holding back, which I sometimes do. I play it a bit more defensively, but then allow the opponent to do other stuff, and then that's it. So Raphael Mariano Reich on the left. If he would have just attacked with both of his mounts, he had an Alistair and one of his fusions. If he would have just attacked directly with both, he would have beaten Ryan Yu. Ryan Yu didn't have a Blazing Mirror Force, no Dimensional, anything like that to finish Raphael off. Like, Raphael was at 1750 life points at the time. But he only attacked with Alistair with the other monster in defense, fearing the Blazing Mirror Force. But if he would have just attacked, he would have won. But then again, he didn't know what Ryan Yu had, so he took, like, he had to take one of two risks: either risk a Blazing Mirror Force or a Dimension Wall being played against them, against giving Ryan Yu another draw on his turn, which did work out for Ryan. Ryan Yu, one duel away from winning Dragon Duel World Championship with Chamber and Anan. I decided yesterday already, which for me was when I watched the semis, like before I went to bed. I really only slept for 2.5 hours. I wanted to definitely see these finals live, not watch them back like I did with the original stream, like for the Saturday. So I just want to see Chamber and win. Sure, Raphael could still win, but I just hope that Ryan Yu will win. Sets 4, no 5. See, we've seen quite a few interesting plays, which I've used in my Chamber deck quite a few years ago as well. Your Justice Earth Secret Barrel, then Chain of Geometry 2 to add on damage. Secret Blast is in Ryan Yu's deck, I'm not sure how many copies. He runs Card of Demise. He even runs at least 2 copies of Balance of Judgment, which is really interesting card. It counts the opponent's cards purely on their field and compares it to what you have on your field and your hand combined. If your combined field and hand total is less than the opponent on just the field, then you draw cards equal to the surplus, equal to the difference. If the opponent has 7 cards on their field, and you have, let's say, 3 cards in the field and nothing in hand, that's a difference of 4. You draw 4 cards. Ryan Yu actually, in the quarterfinals, with his last balance judgment, managed to draw 7. I believe the opponent was using True Draco. They had like 2 or 3 face-up spell and traps. The rest was filled with sets. 2 monsters on the field. Ryan Yu plays with Geometrio, fills that up to 10. Balance of Judgment is able to draw 7 cards and just play from there.
Unless he sets a spell like Pot of Duality.
Right. Now, assuming that he's not doing that, he's left nothing but Chainbles.
Yes. But those are big impact cards.
They are.
Blazing Mirror Force and Dimension Wall.
As you'll notice, for a good portion of this, I won't actually be commentating unless something, I guess, cool happens that I want to say. Because one, I do want to allow you to hear the actual proper English commentators, the 2 commentators that are on this. But at the same time, their volume will be quite low due to the fact that you want to be able to hear me when I'm talking, but also I don't want the volumes to be the same, because I find it just really annoying when you hear 2 voices commentating at the same time. So I'll definitely have them on low volume, so that you could just hear me talk and barely hear them. But hopefully when I'm quiet, that'll turn out well during editing, and you will be able to hear them a bit as well.
The card needs are very specific.
Like they'll know the cards better than I do. I definitely know Chainburn well. I know almost all of the cards that are being played, and obviously I learned some effects from seeing the feature duels. And I've learned a few things about Dynamo, 2 Draco, and things like that. It's in the Invoke deck that I know the least about of like those decks. I know I played ABC myself, although I don't think I've only seen it in one feature duel on the Saturday. But I know quite a lot about Chamber, not as much about Invoker. I'll just go off of what is being played. I have a general idea of what they can do now, but I'll definitely read some of the main cards from Worlds, just on Dueling Book or on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Wiki or on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Database on Konami's website, just to get a better idea of what they can do. And then just build some decks with that myself. I already have a Dino deck, I had it well before Worlds. Let's see what'll happen now.
Diagram destroys.
Looks like a spell in his hand.
Yeah, it's a spell, but I'm not entirely certain what spell it is. To get Masterpiece.
A Masterpiece immune to traps would be pretty good. Well, it won't stop the Dimension Wall, but it'll get through Blazing Mirror Force. Its Dimension Wall affects the player rather than the monster itself.
Yeah, and if you could come up with, like, Masterpiece Mechaba, that's pretty good.
That would be insane.
Or he might just throw it away to make Mechaba.
He will.
So different cards, but the exact same result.
No Masterpiece. Likely doesn't have a trap to tribute for it.
Masterpiece seems like it would actually be fairly strong to summon in this matchup.
Goes for Mechaba. He
He
played that last game as well. Switched to defense.
Your opponent sets them.
It's afraid of Blazing Mirror Force.
Yeah,
he hasn't had any continuous cards though, has he?
That I don't know, because I don't know his hand. So, he certainly could have gotten to them though with the diagram.
That is something I did notice compared to like the regular like YCS streams from either Europe or the United States.
In this particular matchup.
You don't know the hand cards. If you happen to see it on stream, like from the top-down perspective, then you may know that they might have a Terraforming in hand or an Alistair the Invoker.
Although Mechaba
But otherwise,
now is
it's not known to the feed what cards are in hand, which gives a bigger surprise, which I feel is actually interesting. I suppose in the way of analysis, it would be interesting to know what they had in hand at all times. But Dimension Wall. Yes, it's going to be good damage.
Dimension Wall is a trap card that makes your opponent take damage instead of you.
He takes it. He must not have a trap card in his hand.
No trap card in hand, can't stop it.
He doesn't have that many.
But I actually quite like that. I don't know what the cards are in the hand, so it's more of a surprise. It's the watchers as well. What is set, for example? Like you won't know that there's a Justice Earth and an Ojama Trio just waiting, and a Balance of Judgment as well. You would have known that if you would have known the hand cards beforehand. Balance of Judgment's right there, and Raphael's like, yep. Raphael really played around Balance of Judgment in the previous duel. By discarding quite a lot of cards just to have less cards to play around Balance of Judgment, and also around Secret Blast, Secret Barrel. What did he get? I missed what he got. Not Balance of Judgment. Oh, Backjack. He got Backjack.
Certainly not.
Don't remember the complete thing, but I remember it being activated in his last feature match in the quarterfinals. It was released to opponent, I think, destroyed with either an attack or no, I think some kind of card effect, which allowed Backjack's effect to go off. Like you can check the top so many cards of your deck, like top 3, put them in any order, and then you can banish it from the grave to.
That is risky though, because he also might leave Macabra's
open
to try to negate a different card.
To check if it's a trap, and if it's a trap, you can set it and activate it that turn, which can be really nice if you can set the right card on top of your deck with Backjack before. Run you on top of it to make sure that the right cards are being shuffled. Have to definitely be careful considering everyone's using the same sleeves.
All right, it is
Like if
still
Ryan would be shuffling his like Raphael's deck on his
I'd admit
field,
on
that'd be
Jack back
interesting.
will absorb one
Sets a
tap.
card,
Exactly,
sets a
that's
monster.
valuable as well.
Sets it on the side, which is interesting. Maybe to distract Raphael a little bit, just because he may not notice it as quickly because there's his fusion there in the extra monster zone. There's Alistair there. That's his banish pile. So he may not notice the monster as much. So maybe during one or two of his considerations, one or two of his plays, he may not consider the monster being there, which may make him make Raphael's place a bit more optimal for him, which
It
may
might-
work out for
it's gonna be very
Ryan.
hard to
Maybe
actually
it's
back
not,
control
but
Lockbird here
then
in this matchup.
Ryan's not going to get a disadvantage out
Put a
of
bunch
that
of
placement, I would say. Because I've
cards on
seen
the table,
nothing
draw cards,
like
and have an opportunity
Senet,
to discard
the
it
Senet
already
cards
drawn in turn.
in the entire tournament. That'll probably be later because there's not a lot of Link monsters legal. There's a
You
few
could
decks that I
activate the
believe
card,
run maybe one
and
Link
then
Spider
you can't draw
or
any more cards,
the
but
Code
I
Talker.
don't know if Chamberlain really draws.
I believe Link Spider was
a lot of
was to
times
be
in a
used
turn.
with
Draws a lot of cards in a turn.
Right.
I think one is like the Dino Field spell can summon a token
Yes.
on the opponent's
Throw
field.
it
That's
down
what
there,
Link
you know it's
Link
coming.
Spider
Right,
was for to
but
get
then
rid of
they
that
won't have to-
token to
The
disallow
card demise, they'll have
the
that-
field
that's
field spells
true.
effects.
That's what
It-
you
it-
want.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're
so
doing
it
stuff with
certainly
placements
slows
now.
it
Raphael's like, okay, Ryan put it
Now
on
you can
something.
attribute some
Put it
dynamite.
on a specific position. I'm gonna put mine on the far left as well.
Getting tribute for it, and
Balance of Judgment.
is sent to the graveyard
Yep.
due to the effect of the heritage. Not particularly relevant here, but it could have become relevant.
The
Next
defense.
it goes to defense to protect against Blazing Mirror Force.
Yeah, to
We must
protect
not
against
have a
Blazing
draft
Mirror
card
Force.
in
Okay.
hand.
And attacks into Backjack. Backjack activates and he just negates it.
Does that work? Because it's not searching. It's just checking the top cards of the deck.
He. So he negates the rearrange effect because that banishes Jack back, right?
Yeah.
Since Mechaba banishes the cards it negates, or do those cards have to be on the field for it to banish them?
I don't think so. But it seems like he also wants to activate Dynamite Knight, which he cannot.
I don't know these effects too well to be able to tell what the proper ruling is on this.
So, Backjack is banished, and another card is not pulled out of the deck with Dynamite Knight. And we'll shuffle up, and the game will continue.
Yes, the card can be anywhere to be banished by Mechaba. Does not have to be on the field.
Mm.
That is clear from the text of the card.
As you can see, that Ryan's shuffling Raphael's deck on his field. And the only way he really has to tell the difference
I like
between
the setup a lot better.
which cards are his and which cards are not is
I mean, it helps
the
obviously to have the
sleeves are
power of Dynamite
upside
Knight
down.
here, 2800.
for his own cards likely so he can read the proper card and see it not upside down when he
That
pulls
is
them
the
up. He wants to make sure. Oh, which cards do I have again? Oh yeah, Chain Strike and Justice Urge. Okay, puts them face down. That's probably why you would place your set cards like that, especially if you have the intent to check them card ugly. And it makes sense for Chamberlain to do that, considering you have to make sure you play the proper cards in the right order, and you just have a bunch of sets as well.
You will want to make his first chain of trap cards really count, because that's the chain that's going to get through. Unless H just top decked a trap card, which is unlikely given the low number in his deck.
Few takes 2800 here. That's a plus 300 boost from Dragonic Diagram. And Raphael takes the lead by 300.
Looks like they missed.
Dark Hole.
the 300 boost.
Okay,
Dark Hole activates and
so
it
they're both
resolves.
gone.
Wow, no spell card in H's hand.
So that must be
No
his
spell
hands
card to
on
protect
monster.
him from it. Nice, Ryan.
There's no
Yes.
traps, no spells. That's all it could be.
It's got to be all monsters. That's rough.
Did he use Dynamite's effect?
He didn't.
So he could have gotten a trap.
He didn't. He forgot.
He was
Though
still,
yeah.
he was still stunned by the dark hole.
That happens.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That might actually cost him.
How you react.
Apparently there was an effect
when
activation
the crazy
possible
top decks
from
happen
Dynamite.
is part of the game. And just being able to stay in the moment and make the right move is important if you want to be the world champion.
Let's check the wiki quickly.
And it looked like they were pointing out the extra damage.
Dynamite, True Draco Fighter.
Yes. His ability takes that
If
pretty
we're not
easily.
going to you can do Super Monster. Oh, from the deck. Either activate or add it to hand. That was still possible, yeah. He could have just added a card to his hand. He would have just forgotten that part.
Droll and Lockbird.
Can happen. Drone
Can.
Lockbird. I missed what happened with that. Maybe it's getting rid of invocation, getting rid of it.
Disciples of the True Draco Phoenix.
Yeah, I don't know these
I could get
effects
another
too well.
tribute summon here.
Well,
Presumably
definitely
he's got plenty of
after
monsters to
Worlds,
use
I'm more
it.
interested about learning them. I already knew that the good amount of these cards you invoked, invoke Wind Witch, True Draco Dinosaurs were good decks. I just hadn't put in the time to properly learn the decks yet, or at least get more familiar
But he
with
plays
the
a lot of
effects
weird
of all the
monsters in his
cards.
deck, too. He plays a
So
lot
I'll
of
definitely
Kaiju
do that
decks,
after
all
Worlds.
True Dracos.
It's true.
Okay, so he activates Invocation first. I think we will very likely see him banish Alistair with the Macabre or a different light monster if he has one, in order to summon another Macabre like he did in the first duel.
Yeah, presumably he's just making the second one. Don't see any real reason not to there.
Yep.
And it's nice to have a spell in your hand now so that you can prevent things like the Dark Hole from happening.
Yes. It's unfortunate he didn't grab a trap card though with Dynamite.
And he's thinking about which position to summon it in. Attack mode or defense mode. He's already attacked this. No, he has not attacked this turn.
So he puts in attack position.
Activates Disciples. And he's going to put 3 cards back into his deck to draw one.
I believe he has Heritage, Masterpiece, and Dynamite, right?
Yes.
Yep, so since those are the only 3, that's what's going back. I think that might leave him with no spells, though.
It very well might.
Because if he didn't have a spell for the Dark Hole,
And he picked that one up off of a diagram, then perhaps he does not.
yeah.
Well,
He might draw one here.
well, he just used Invocation, so he doesn't have that yet.
Right. He might have drawn a spell for his turn. Also possible.
3-stage shuffle, and at this high level of play. First the player themselves, then the opponent, and then the judge cuts the deck as well, to my knowledge. Yep. Just to make sure everything works out. Otherwise, it would just be player, then generally the opponent does it as well.
Draw one more card.
But at this high level of play, in the finals, the judge has to do it as the third party as well. Just to give the highest chance of a proper randomized deck order.
Part of the cards.
And no cheating involved.
Players in attack.
You can assume that it
Secret
doesn't happen
Barrel
like that, but...
is activated as turn
Oh.
Ooh,
one.
Secret Barrel comes in.
Uh-oh.
H did not want to see him reaching for a card.
Uh-oh, look out, Alphael.
This is probably going to be a chain, and considering I don't think he has that many cards out. That's going to be a trio. It's a trio. No just desserts
Now
with that,
Macabre
but still, it
can
adds 3
activate,
cards,
gets
puts
rid
3
of
monsters
any
out, although it gets
trio.
rid of a trap to still
Ring of
trio.
Destruction.
Ring of Destruction! He expected the trio to be stopped, and if it's once per turn for that fusion, Ring of Destruction.
Alright,
I didn't realize he had that card in his deck. It makes sense for a burn deck. It's chainable.
Geometry is getting banished.
No Geometrio, but Ring of Destruction does some good stuff, and then Secret Barrel,
It's
1,
total.
2.
I think
the
it
full
plays in
amount,
Metaphors.
yeah.
It's the full amount. So 2,500 to each player. and then the
25.
Secret
Ryan,
Barrel
you down to
damage as well.
3,
Yes.
but then
Ring of
Raphael's down to
Destruction
3,000.
has had
Although,
its effect changed since it was first
shouldn't
released.
Ryan you have been at 300 lower? Because I heard something about a
The
boost
spirit
from
of the
like
card is
Feel a
still
continuous
very
spell.
much the same. Card of Demise off the top
Oh my goodness.
and amazing.
Card of Demise,
Ash
right?
Blossom and Joyous Spring negates it.
Card of Demise, Hatch Blossom.
H uses Gorgonic Diagram to destroy his disciples of the True Draco Phoenix.
300 each. Shouldn't Secret Barrel have done something?
And I should
I
have
mean, maybe that's just not been updated yet. Because it was Secret Barrel, then Trio. Trio was stopped, and then was Ring of Destruction. Although, does Ring of Destruction not allow other damage?
And Raphael has turn
I unfortunately don't know the effects.
Wow,
I'm
that's
gonna check
really
Ring of
bad
Destruction while
for
they shuffle.
Because he needs to win this duel just to get it to a third duel.
Indeed.
And then is at a huge disadvantage in the third duel because the burn deck easily inflicts damage
No,
early
the
on. and
Secret
gets
Barrel should have
trouble
still
in the
resolved,
game, which won't
right?
exist.
I'm missing
Don't see
something.
any more side decking allowed either, since it's happening
There we go.
after
2
the
cards
30
on the field,
minutes are up.
maybe. Is it 1 or 2 cards on the field left? Now, after Ring of
Draw
Destruction
the
was,
next card.
yeah, 2. His face-up spell here, and
Score
then
should be
field spell, and then 3.
27,000.
He would have had 3 cards in hand. Just 2,000 damage, that's not a lot. trio's gone. Ryan Yu doesn't have a lot of cards, especially with
Double
Cardamai's
tribute,
gone.
Masterpiece hits the field.
That's
I think
2950.
end for
50
you.
life points for
Let's go,
Ryan.
Dimension Wall. Actually, no,
Even
they
still, it'll be
named those.
destroyed in the end phase.
Right.
Masterpiece activates, and you immediately concedes.
What? Oh, you can
All
stop
right,
the
so,
card? Oh, you can
I
destroy
thought
the
you
card,
had
I think it's a quick
20
effect.
cold card of demise off the top of the deck, but all of the monsters that Raphael's
He has a
been
pendulum
holding
card
the
somewhere,
entire
Ryan, I
game
saw.
happen to be
He has a
ones
dice
that
jar
hand, like Draw
in
a
his stack,
Rockford
which
and
was
hand
in game
Rockford
1, but
Joyous Spring.
um,
And it looks like it's going to be
was actually banished by
we're gonna get
something,
another
didn't
roll
actually
decide
get
who's gonna go
played.
first.
Ryan
This
didn't
last
make
game
it through that.
happening after the
Raphael
40
playing
minutes
well.
elapsed, so no side decking. Oh, don't forget your Dragonic Diagram Analyzer, Raphael. You're going to need them.
No side decking?
There you go.
I don't know if these
Are we
duels
in
would
time?
really want a side deck enter
Already?
the third duel
Like,
anymore.
if
Anyway,
I didn't hear
I
time
think
being
that
called, then again I
the way
was
they side deck
talking
enter
for a
the
good portion
second
of it.
duel is probably how they're going to want to keep their deck.
Yeah, they didn't side. So if time, I've learned that if time is called before the third game starts,
That's
then
good.
there's no siding.
All right, so the way this is going to work is as follows. These players will play at least 4 turns.
Yeah, at least 4 turns. And then the person with a life point lead wins, which, considering the burn cards and the fact that Ryan starts with at least 5 cards, is really good. What would Ryan want, first or second? He'd probably want second, actually, just to make sure that Raphael only has 1 attacking turn, because you can't attack when you're going first, which gives Ryan you a higher chance of being ahead in damage, which burn, even
Ryan Yu
at just desserts on 1 monster, 500 damage, could potentially be enough just to seal in the championship.
Really going to depend on this dice roll here. I think he would want to give. I think he wants to go second.
I've seen a few games go into time, and I'm not too big of a fan of the time thing, but it's very understandable to keep a tournament going with the schedule that it has.
That seems like the advantage here.
So
Now, how does this
I
work?
do
Because the
understand
player who
why
wins
it
the
is in
die roll
place,
gets to
and
choose, or does
tournament
the
players
player who wins
do
the die
need
roll
to
have
learn to
go
play
first?
around it, which isn't like the way I would have played on Dueling Network, because then you
Yes,
could
second
potentially just play for
definitely
3 hours if it
fine.
really comes down to it. It's extremely long, and the one time that happened, like with 3:25 or something,
The entire Dragon Duel World
3 minutes,
Championship
3.5 hours
team
was
four
after
turn
multiple
extra
admin calls
duel.
into the tournament match, which wasn't fun. But
And I do
like
wonder
we
if
can
Duel
play
actually
for that long in these tournaments. That's not possible because we have this Dragon Duels final, then the Duel Links final. I'm not gonna like record that or the main event final. I just wanted to see Ryan Yu play. Hopefully he'll win. Which I wanted to have my live reaction to a hopeful Chainburn victory. There's I'm not gonna record also because like copyright things and stuff. So I hope this live reaction is actually allowed to be on YouTube. I really hope so. As an analysis kind of
Who
thing.
is going
Hopefully
first
that's
with
allowed.
Desires does resolve, so he does draw 2 cards.
Let's see.
Got a couple good ones there.
It looks like a very strong hand.
Water Desires
Threatening Roar and Justice
goes
Surge.
through
Oh
by
wow!
the looks of things.
I didn't even think about it. Cards like Threatening Roar and Waboku are
Yeah, anything like Threatening or Waboku just stops Raphael from dealing damage. Which just allows Ryan Yu another turn of not being damaged, and then anything like Secret Barrel, Secret Blast just desserts the slightest bit of damage makes him win. So Ryan will probably save those cards for
The second one.
his last turn.
Terraforming is activated.
Ryan went first by the looks of things. He lost the last game, so he
And this is turn
no, because I learned when time is called before the third game, there's no sighting and it's randomized who goes first. Or at least it's you redo like your dice roll or your rock paper scissors, like generally in tournament play they do the dice roll, and then maybe the winner of that still chooses who goes first or second, or it's just randomized. Either way, the person who lost the game before that doesn't
very
choose
likely.
who goes first. So Ryan didn't have a
Really,
choice
He
there.
can skip 2 of his opponent's battle phases even better.
Did he have Threatening Roar as well? Threatening Roar and Wabaku?
He has Wabaku.
He has Wabaku? That's
I only
good.
saw Roar.
Yeah, I
Ryan,
think
you'll
he only
feel
has
good about
Wabaku,
that.
But I don't know all 5 of his cards.
Raphael will just probably want traps in his
Either
grave,
way,
and he already has one there now.
He did, in fact,
And then
recommend.
do whatever that was a
Very good
dynamite,
call by
just
him.
something to help negate it. I don't know. As I said, I don't know the true Dracos too well. First worlds
seems
that
to
I
have been
really
very
don't know a
prepared
good
for this
portion of the cards. Well, I know that they exist.
Against Chainburn.
I
Yeah.
barely know what they do, and I've learned quite a lot about them just from watching Worlds. I have a general idea of
Yes, and he did get
what they
into a
can do
duel
about some
already.
combos.
Still to be decided.
Sets a card.
Brian, check some stuff to make sure the game continued properly.
Oh, it's a trap, not a spell.
Trap immune,
Is he
whatever that is. One of the two Dracos. And immune to traps, I think? Or is that only...
Cosmic Cyclone's activated.
That's risk.
1,000 life
Lowers
points
his own
already,
life points
bringing
in
him
time
at a
and in
decent
his own
advantage.
main phase.
No.
If
He's
it's
down at
chained, then he's
1,000
just
life
behind
points
now.
deficit before you even
But he feels
activate
he has to
the
take the
protocol.
risk to possibly hit the
Just
Waboku.
Desserts is chained.
Chain to just desserts, and considering that wasn't a targeted card, that has to mean a
You
chain strike
activate
is
the
coming.
effective Ignis Heat to build
That
the
has to
chain
mean a
even
chain
more.
strike is coming.
Chain
He's making
strike.
use of the chain from Cosmic
Secret
Cyclone.
Barrel is
Secret
chained.
Barrel is coming in for more damage. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards.
Oh,
Oh, Jama Trio!
Trio
Such
next.
major damage. How is Raphael gonna
Oh
go
my
around this?
goodness.
Especially if
Three more
Waboku
cards
is
on
out.
Haish's field, and all three of them are monsters.
Is
and
this it?
100 points of damage to just desserts.
This could be it. Ryan, you must be feeling good. If the commentators are correct and they did see a Waboku
Things are not looking
as
good.
one of the two set cards, Ryan, you can stop at least one battle damage at least for one
1,000
turn.
points from Galaxy.
And even if he would allow this one, he would still be in the lead with all that damage. Geometry would place 3 tokens on Raphael's
Now he
field.
decides to chain the effective
Just
Ignis
Desert
Heat.
would still be 2,000 damage. Secret Barrel would be 12 for just the field, and then the hand would just like 2 or 3. I didn't keep track of what's still left in the hand.
Since the card is added to his hand at the top of the chain.
He's got to be trying to get something else onto the field.
Is this a chain from whatever monsters on the field?
He's in so much trouble right now. Which card was targeted by the Cosmic Cyclone?
I believe it was the trio.
Okay, so
Yeah,
he
the
didn't
Trio
get
was
any
targeted for
damage out of that.
Cyclone. It was a risk that Raphael probably had to take to hopefully hit a Waboku or a Threatening Word knowing that the things existed. Counting, Secret Barrel, very well done. Taking the time to do that.
It's 1,800.
6 on the field, 3 in the hand. Cosmic Cyclone still counts for Secret Barrel, even though it is destined to go to the graveyard once it resolves.
So 18 and 2,000. 3,800 on top of the 1,000 from Cosmic
6,
Cyclone.
3 in hand, yeah. 1,800, another 2,000, that's 3,200 on just the first
is-
turn. Ryan, you just need to survive this and the next turn.
Not a good turn for Haish.
Potentially, if he has Balance of Judgment set,
Damage in here.
and he draws decently, possibly with a card on Demise next turn. No, not card on Demise, because then you can't damage.
At this point,
But
if you're
with
you,
another
the
Pot
only
of Desires, I don't
damage
know if he has a second.
I imagine you just
He
take the
could, no, probably not.
your opponent's
He
draw
could
first
finish
and
it.
roar.
He's going to draw another card.
Can he just finish it to 0 life points? I would actually like to see that. And considering the tokens are on the field, he can't be tributed. If he has another
Apocalypse
Justice Urge plus Secret Barrel, that could be it.
Card. But he does need to shuffle first because he searched with Ignis Heat. What does he do to get out of this?
I was
don't think
just thinking that same thing.
there's just not enough time. He only gets one more turn.
Well, if he gets...
The only thing that can really happen is that Ryan Yu can mess up. If he messes up with Threatening Roar and tries to activate it in response to the attack, he'll get nothing out of it.
What's the restriction on Ojama Trio tokens? They can't be tributed?
Can't be tributed for a tribute summon, I believe. And they do damage when they're destroyed.
Right. It's tough. The only thing I can think of is maybe he'll be able to gain an additional normal summon
Ooh,
Masterpiece.
there's a Threatening Roar there.
And then
So if the
Masterpiece on
commentators are
field
right
deals
about the
damage,
Waboku, there's a Threatening
not
Roar
destroy
as
a
well.
card on his own turn, as well as a card
Commentators
on
didn't
his
mention it
turn.
yet, but I saw it.
Ideally hitting the Threatening Roar.
This is
and
looking
then
good for
he
Ryan.
attacks on his next
And it
turn.
was ready to activate it before Battle Phase was coming in. He just had to shuffle the deck first.
And the attacks will be boosted by a Dragonic Diagram at least, so Ignis Heat is at
Just
27.
remember that, Ryan. Before, start of the Battle Phase,
Helping him
before they
to
declare the attack.
Tribute the Ojama Trio tokens.
Raphael will allow that, knowing the
Directly
Threatening Roar is even there.
Tribute summon. He would also need another card to set.
And he's going
Come on.
to get the extra summon.
Gets the summon, tries to hit the card on the far.
Greed.
Ooh, Reckless Greed. Gets him 2 cards. Ryan's blocked out of his draw phase, but he's only going to get one more turn anyway.
Is chained.
No Balance of Judgment, but still Reckless Greed for 2 cards.
This is actually quite good for Haish.
Yeah. With the extra power bonuses, you got a 28 and a 27. That's
Yes.
5,500 damage.
So that's not a Waboku face down, but
That'll
it's
bring
still
you
a
to
Threatening
both
Roar.
his
So at
own
least
life
one
points.
turn
Really
Ryan can
forces
stall,
you
then
to
hopefully
activate
with
Threatening
the stuff he
Roar
gets from
to
Reckless
gain
Greed, he's able to stall the second turn for at least enough.
so that
I'm
he
not sure what the
can
attack is of
another
Dynamite and
card
whatever
to
else,
the
at least
battle phase
combined.
to win.
Is
Can't
that
draw any more cards because of Reckless Greed.
Well,
4,800
Reckless
combined?
Greed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
All things considered, the Reckless Greed isn't too bad because he's getting 2 cards and only will have to get 1 draw phase since he only gets 1 more draw phase this game.
I feel a lot better
Two
about Ace's chances
cards.
now with that second
Absolutely.
True Draco.
He
on the
wants a
field.
threatening
Now he
roar
has the
now,
pressure there.
considering the offensive force.
Oh, and if he uses Threatening Roar, which he does,
He
in order to
does,
preserve
Threatening Roar
his
comes
life
out.
total, Dynamite gets to activate its effect to add a trap card to Haish's hand if he wants to.
So Raphael still has a chance, because he has offensive pressure on the field.
Summon Zaphion. Zaphion, the Time Lord. And I
He
think
has
he's gonna get it.
Zaphion. Is that it?
I think
Wow.
Ryan
Because he can't hit it.
can't be damaged. Can't
They,
be
the,
destroyed.
unless he has, like,
The
it
only
can't
thing
be
he
destroyed by
could do
card
is
effects, I
kill him
think, and
with
it can't be destroyed by
It
battle
would work.
either,
No,
like
he
during the
kept
one
the
turn
card
it's on the
used in.
field, and he only needs one turn.
He at least kept the
It's
light
a new Time Lord. One of the new Time.
Card of Demise.
Oh my goodness.
He doesn't need Ryu doesn't need to deal damage. He just
Unbelievable.
needs 3 cards to have extra chance of
He
stalling.
doesn't need a draw phase when he draws 3 cards.
He
of
yeah, I
Card of
think
Demise.
previously in the Balance of Judgment thing with
And he changed his own
change the
max
max
heat
heat
of
just to
Card of
get more
Demise, so he gets
cards.
to pick up all 3.
Oh my god.
just to have extra.
Card of
He can't have
Duality lets him
extra
look at the
damage to
top 3
deal,
and pick the one that's
but he
winning
just
the
has stall
duel.
stuff.
Show him.
There's a pot of desires. He wants to read cards, wants to make sure he reads Secret Blast, but this is looking so good for Ryan. He has a card from Pot of Duality. Didn't see what he had. Whatever wasn't Secret Blast or Backjack.
Wow.
Not sure what. And then he has another 2 cards from Card of Demise. Ryan, you can't deal the damage.
Quite see that.
He doesn't need to, so that's why he didn't take Secret Blast, because he can't deal the damage anyway, because time will be up before he can. Zaphion can't be destroyed by card effects. Can be targeted, I believe. Can't be destroyed by card effects.
Unbelievable.
Can't be destroyed by battle. No battle damage is dealt to it either. It is like shuffled back to the deck during the standby phase, but by the time Ryan's next standby phase is never going to happen due to time being up. So what does Raphael have? Does he have a Kaiju to maybe get rid of it? But then still, Ryan will have a monster.
Desires comes down.
Pot of Desires for another 2 cards. Oh, that's the card he got from Duality. So that's the 2 cards left from Demise, plus the 2 from Desires.
Is that
Did he pick up
2
double
dark holes?
Did he get a Dark Hole?
I think he did.
He could potentially just play Dark
Is
Hole if
Zaphion
Zaphion
also
isn't destroyed by your own
using
card effects
spell and,
either.
Trap card?
Oh, he plays it!
Presumably, otherwise he wouldn't be playing it.
Dynamite does. Raphael just does play on. But this is looking so good!
900 points of damage to Heish, who's going to lose.
Oh yeah, because the Ajamatons are destroyed. There's another 900 damage. Although,
300 for each.
does Demise just stop that, right?
I'll go ahead and
Got a Demise because you can't deal damage.
Everybody loves Zaphion.
No, I'm pretty
not
sure.
sure
I'm gonna keep it on screen because anytime now, possibly the judges as well see that
Destroyed by battle
um,
card effects, including
Raphael has no way of winning.
Heish
There's-
is
Oh,
classic
they
damage.
only allow surrendering in this tournament if
Okay.
the
draw.
judges can see that there is no way of
Heish
winning
does
for that
gain the
player.
effect of Dynamite in order to
Then they
get
allow
the
surrendering
return
just
from
to
the
make
deck
sure
and
it's
effect
done
raise it face up.
properly, I guess.
But he
Tokens
is
back to
in
Ryan.
big trouble here.
Monster's gone.
I'm gonna at
One
least be
trap
able
is
to
on the
reclaim
field.
monster
What can
here.
he do with it?
In the
3
end phase, He
sets.
doesn't have any cards to discard from his hand with a card of Demise as a
And
drawback.
the Time Lord.
All right, he's gonna
I
spend
remember
the
the time of it. There's a Zaphion. There's it's not Radion. It's not Metion. It's either Zaphion or one other.
And right, this is it.
Is
the
this
final
it?
turn.
Can Raphael do anything?
Heish is at 2,300 life points.
Raphael checking, probably confirming with the judges about card of Demise. And Ryan Yu not being able to do damage, but this is the final turn of World's Dragon Duels 2017, no matter what happens. And it looks very good. Raphael just checking the Time Lord one more time. Ryan is just waiting, stalling. Possibly he knows he has a Wabaku with threatening or another one face down. It's looking so good for him. There is a Kaiju to get rid of it, so it's very
Not
good
for the
that Dark Hole
that
was
would've been a big
played.
deal.
And he gets to draw a card because Zaphion was sent from the field.
He does get a card from Zaphion's effect.
But his work is cut out for him. Raish is at 20.
He still, Raphael still needs to get rid of the time of the Kaiju and then deal enough damage at minimum 4,800 to tie it to continue the game. But then potentially Ryan could still just, in the turn after, play one Justice Arts and take the lead. And as soon as that lead is taken, then at the end of that chain, game is still over.
The Crew King's return, which can take down
Time Lord is gone. Raphael still now has a chance. What can he do though to deal that much damage in one turn? What are they waiting for? Something.
If he had the Threatening Roar,
I think that's a field spell taking out the trap to do something.
there's no reason
an
not
effect
to
it has.
use this the last turn of the duel.
And he does indeed destroy the True King's return there. So we will get rid of Godarla.
And he will add Masterpiece to his hand.
Gets a
So
Masterpiece.
If he has the right cards in his hand to summon Masterpiece.
To get rid of the
It's
Kaiju.
like summon Masterpiece and Alistair in the same turn and activate Invocation, and Ryan Yu has nothing. I think that's the
The
only way to
potential
do it.
is there, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Commentators are right.
every play.
If
that
he has an
Masterpiece
Alistair
ends up
and
having
then
nothing,
Invocation,
which is very
the
unlikely.
potential is there if Ryan Yu doesn't have anything like Buboku or Threatening Horse. It's very good that Ryan did draw as much as possible just in case Raphael had a way around it.
Turn.
He didn't celebrate too early. In quarterfinals, he knew at one point that he just won, even though the turn wasn't over. Raphael doing calculations by the looks of things with the calculator.
Checks his extra deck. I think he's thinking the same thing we are. He's got to get an Invoke monster and Masterpiece on the
He has
He has
Alistair.
the Alistair.
Ryan. Oh no, is he gonna beat Ryan with this? Is to gets an Invoke, gets a Fusion out?
He summons it. He gets Invocation to his hand.
And does he have enough for Masterpiece as well? Potentially. Has he no, he normal summoned Alistair. Right? I don't think Alistair has a special summon effect. So then he can't
I
play
was actually
Masterpiece, I think. Suspect, I
sure
believe
why
that
he
gets
did it.
Invocation.
He might have just thought that there's no way he could lose, so he didn't need to.
And he might be right.
Ryan
There's
Yu
the
still in the
Invocation.
advantageous position, but this is looking worse and worse by the moment
Light monsters.
for Ryan. Better for Raphael. It's very good that Raphael just kept playing, kept going for all of his options. He likely knew, I have a Kaiju somewhere in the deck. Possibly had it in hand. Possibly he, like, Destiny drew it.
I don't think there are.
But whether it is him knowing that he had a chance or something else.
And he does.
Some Masterpiece and Alistair into a fusion, but the Dynamite is still in defense. So that's, is it 2800?
I saw it earlier.
Amakabra?
That's good.
That's not enough.
He's going to need to get Invocation back into the deck to play for damage here. He's got to get Alistair back in.
Alistair back in hand. Oh, that is a switch. He already was on the field.
Heck was a machine. He attacks for 28. 28 and 35 will be
Is that enough?
28. Wow, I'm so excited. I can't.
What's
do
the
math.
attack power? I don't know the attack power, so I can't do the calculations myself.
Plus 5,000 is 6,300.
Y35.
Brian may still have chains in the end phase, though, so the game isn't over.
Has the Alistair to increase the attack
Start
points.
Alistair.
Alistair to increase power, which would mean that Raphael takes the lead, but Ryan may still have a chain in the end phase. He's not giving up yet.
To 35, 28.
It's not because he only has 2,300. Well, we would tie
No,
it.
It's
Is it a tie?
28 and 35. You're right. It would tie it.
What's Ryan going to do?
Wait, no. That would be 63. No.
Secret Barrel to get out of the tie. He plays Secret Barrel to get out of the tie.
No. 28 and
Oh,
35 actually.
doesn't can't activate it? What?
Does it?
Oh, that attack first goes through.
67?
I think it's 63.
Ryan down to 17.
That's 17.
Okay, 63.
Raphael in the lead. He needs to do something with this. He has Secret Barrel.
Secret Barrel can be activated
For
now.
Some cards, at least 3 on
I'm pretty
field,
sure
which is
Hayes is not at
600.
3,200 life points.
Calculators are coming in.
He's at 23 because
Ryan
of
Yu
power.
doesn't give up yet,
So
which he could really just show his set cards. Shuffling, no, like he can't believe it. But
Depends.
which
How much
can't
does
believe it? I
Barrel
can't
do?
believe I lost at this final stage after looking so good with one turn to
You
go.
didn't
Or I
make
can't
phase
believe
two.
that I'm going to win because I know what I have set.
it could have gotten negated before.
Not if he changed it to Invocation.
Oh yes, yes, yes. Does H definitely have the trap card in his hand?
I thought I saw it.
So Secret Barrel.
Secret Barrel,
will
does he have a chain?
attempt to tie it up. Well, no, he has cards in hand also. The Secret Barrel will actually put him ahead.
Yep.
Are there enough cards in hand?
4
2?
cards.
No, I think he has 2 cards in hand, which is 5 cards total. It's 1,000 damage. It doesn't put him ahead. Ryan Yu would still be
He has
behind.
one in hand.
Purely on Secret Barrel.
Two.
He's got 2.
Two. So
No
it'll take
chain?
1,000.
Does he not have a trap in hand? Ryan Yu is happy. Chain strike for 800! Is that game? Because that would be game if he has 1,000 with 2 cards in hand. Put it on to 22. 800 puts it out to
Secret Barrel
14.
damage.
That puts Ryan Yu in the lead at the end of the turn.
I think it should be over though.
Is that over? Does Ryan Yu win it on time in just 4 turns? So much damage. Raphael getting out the calculator to make sure how things work.
Is enough to get H below 1,700.
And he is at 2,300.
No, he realizes it.
Destroyed.
And Ryan realized that Raphael realized that Shane Byrne is world champion. He does it! Wow!
Ryan Yu.
That was so close!
Nail biter.
Raphael almost won it, and then Ryan was able to bring it back. If Raphael would just had like just a trap in hand, he would have been able to stop the secret barrel, he would have won. That was close, on time, against Chambered. I didn't think Raphael stood a good chance. Especially with the 3 sets and stuff.
Ryan Yu of Canada.
Wow, no, Cardamice is just, I was thinking Cardamice was this legal, yeah, Cardamice is just that same turn you can't deal damage.
Says he believes it's luck. Clearly it was.
Shane Byrne
He played a
wins
fantastic fight.
the World Championship!
It was very close.
Ryan Yu from Canada, wow.
That's pretty good.
You can immediately pick up that trophy. Ryan, yes!
That was an
Woohoo!
and I don't think anyone predicted it.
Boom, bunch of smoke, and he's like, oh, my ears, no.
Brings Shane Byrne.
What's gonna happen to Chamber deck? No, like, I remember in the Necros format, Satellas eventually won Worlds. Not too much happened with Satellas, because Necros was still considered by the deck.
Semifinals earlier this morning.
Is there gonna be a live interview now, I think? With the winner?
And now that he can finally relax and breathe again.
ほっとしました。今はどういう気持ちですかって聞いたところ、とてもほっとしましたっていうお返ししました。
Translate's probably down there translating for him. Or not. It's not an interview, just announcing yeah he won. Make an official announcement. Ryan, you wins it! Chainbird at the top! I know that in the main event it was a bunch of like your True Dragons and Dinos, and it's gonna be a Dino Mirror match in the finals. But yeah, Dragon Duel had a bit more, you could say, a swerve away from the main decks. Just a bit more.
Tell you what.
Chainbird wins Worlds!
What do we have
Woohoo! I'm happy.
Duel Links.
Alright, Duel Links is up next. I'm not gonna do any of that. I'll do my like sort of overview report in a Yu-Gi discussion video. Probably that'll be up later today. But for now, that was it. Yes! Chamber champions! Boom! Yeah! So happy!